Hello everyone. The aim of this short video is to give you a general idea of how chemistry of the environment is going to be a structure. My hope is that you will see the connection and the link from one week to the next, and I give you a brief overview of what you will be doing throughout this semester. For those of you that have attended one of the welcome back sessions we did at the beginning of September, or if you haven't, you can have the recording of those sessions. Yours would be transitioning to level 5. The recordings are in your program Blackboard, so you can have a look at what we covered in those sessions. So for those of you that attended those sessions, what I'm going to tell you is probably not that new, because it's similar to what we covered in those sessions, but I thought it was worth repeating that information again. One, so you have it on this Blackboard, so it's all self-contained within this module Blackboard, and two, to give it the context of how it's going to work specifically for chemistry of the environment. So I'm going to start sharing my screen right now, and the presentation I've prepared. So that's me. I'm a principal lecturer in chemistry. I'm also the deputy section director for natural and applied sciences, and I'm the module director for this module, and I will be delivering all the sessions. This is common to all level 5 modules. This is what we are aiming to achieve throughout this year. Those of you that join us at level 4, and those of you that join us in foundation level, and those of you that join us at level 4, over the last year or two, we have been working specifically on knowledge acquisition and practical skills, which are the basis of any science program. And in level 4, we introduce a little bit about interpretation of data, mostly from practicals. What does it mean? These interpretation skills are going to be very prominent in all level 5 modules, and we will also be adding analysis. So we will be looking at analyzing data, both that you have obtained yourselves or available through, for example, research papers, and develop those interpretative skills, because they are the basis of any good scientist, and it's one of the graduate skills that employers will expect you to have once you are in the workplace. We will be looking at textbooks. It's still a very important part of our, the core of this module. And we will also be looking at research papers. Both the research papers I will recommend you to read and we will discuss, and the ones that you will find yourselves during your own research for the module. Chemistry of the environment is a 20-credit module, and like all 20-credit modules, that equates to around 200 hours of study. Of those 200 hours of study that represent a 20-credit module, 80 of them will be directed by me and in this as module director. And the additional 120 hours will be directed by you. This is what we call self-study. Is the time you will use for writing your assignments, revision, additional revision, preparing for the exam, additional reading. So it is very important that you do additional reading with beyond the one that I'm going to recommend and I'm going to set you week by week. In the 80 hours that are going to be directed by me, you can see in that slide, you have a breakdown of how those 80 hours are going to look like. Currently, you have scheduled 3 face-to-face tutorials on campus with your program advocate. And those will be in the first week, in the middle of the semester, right after you have finished your practical week, and in the last week of the semester, right before we break off for Christmas. Additionally, you and me will have live collaborate sessions, which are 1.5 hours each. And those will be set up in a collaborate room and in the collaborate area of this module. you have a face-to-face practical work, which equates around 10 hours nominally are allocated to this module, although the whole practical week is a mixture of different practicals that have been chosen, A, because they represent the different modules you're studying, and B, because they develop particular skills, lab skills that will be useful for next semester and in next academic year. Also, as part of this learning, directed by me, you have around a bit over 5 hours a week of structured independent learning throughout 11 weeks. So we are counting that academic development week will not count as part of those 11 weeks. And those again will be directed by me, and I will talk you in the next slide what this independent learning looks like. So this is roughly how your semester is going to look like. In the first week, you will have a program tutorial with your program advocate, which will be different for those of you, depending on your program. And that, yes, underpins chemistry of the environment, but it also underpins the other modules that you are doing this semester. Currently, it is scheduled at the moment of recording this video, it is scheduled as face-to-face on campus. And you have already been set some reading you need to do, looking at research papers, and that is because research papers and looking at research is very much at the core of chemistry of the environment and all the other modules you're going to be doing this year. In week 2, while group 1 is on their practical week, those of you doing this module, if I'm not mistaken, will add on practical group 2. So that week 2 of the semester, you will be doing some self-directed learning on Blackboard with different videos, reading that you will need to do to prepare yourself for that practical week. Week 3 is a practical week for group 2, which I think all of you are part of that, the practical group, and that is the week starting on the 12th of October. On week 4, you will have again another program tutorial currently scheduled face-to-face on campus with your program advocate, and that will be looking at what you have done during the practical week, just making sure you know how to interpret the data, very much focusing those analysis and interpretation skills that are at the core of the level 5 modules. Afterwards is academic development week, and that's where you will be having the personal the tutorials with your personal academic tutors, and we will be contacting all our tutees in near that week to set up the tutorials. Then the following weeks, 5 to 10, again, we continue with the structured independent learning, and you will have live online collaborate sessions with me, and those will happen on Tuesday between 11 and 12:30. The sessions will be recorded, so you will be able to review them afterwards. The only thing I would say is that if we break out into groups for breakout sessions cannot be recorded. So you would be missing that. And those will not be lectures. You will already have studied the content of the module. Those will be interactive sessions discussing a paper, discussing exercises, discussing exam questions later in the semester. So they will be very much not me teaching, but yes, I will be, obviously we will be answering questions, any doubts that you might have of the material we have covered until that point, but they are very much interactive sessions in which the idea is to discuss or interpret data from papers and graphs. And finally, in week 11, you will have another program tutorial with your program advocate. Again, currently at the moment I'm recording this schedule as a face-to-face session. And again, all the courses you are doing this semester, and it will be aiming at preparing you for the exams that will happen after Christmas. So how to answer exam questions, what makes a good exam question, it will be very much the focus of that tutorial. And it will provide a nice, finish to the some of the other modules. So the structured independent learning that I will be setting by this module Blackboard is 58 hours over the whole semester, which works roughly at a bit over 5 weeks, 5 hours a week for 11 weeks. So discounting academic development week. There will be a material also for a study, and I will provide for each week a direction for engaging with the materials. First watch this video, read this paper, participate on this discussion board, email me with. There will be a structure for each week, and the structure will be slightly different depending on the topic we're studying that week, and more about that in another video. There will be lecture recordings similar to these ones. I will also provide the PowerPoint presentations that I'm using for those lectures. I will post research articles that you will need to read relevant to the topic we're studying at the week. Book chapters, we have I have a few scanned chapters of environmental chemistry books that will come in at particular points during the module. Also exercise worksheets and some videos, not recorded by myself, but additional videos by other authors and the European Environment Agency, so both by other lecturers and also international organizations. And I will also be running a discussion board, which I'm hoping will be very lively, but we shall see how you engage with it, because I feel that we are not going to have the group interaction we would have in a normal face-to-face session. And I want you to interact with me in emails, but also I want you to interact with your other classmates doing chemistry of the environment, so you can learn and discuss ideas and learn from each other. And again, more about that in another video. A brief slide on what can you do if you need help. Well, for chemistry of the environment, if you don't know where to go, who to ask, or who would be the right person, email me, and probably I won't know the answer either, but we can find out the answer together. So I am your first port of call for any questions that are related to this module. I'm the module director, and so please do email me. And it might be that the query can be solved by email. It might be that we need to organize a phone or online tutorial. But do not hesitate at any time to contact me, because it is likely that if you have a question, if you have something you don't know, you are not going to be the only ones that have that question, and that will give me a very clear idea of how I can fine-tune the delivery of this module to make it useful for all of you, to help you get the maximum of this module. For general administration inquiries, the program admin team at science@canterbury.ac.uk. You have your personal academic tutor that can provide more personalized support, both pastoral care if you have problems that might be impacting your studies, or if you want to discuss your your future careers, or where you see your degree going. Your program advocate or program director will be able to provide more general information about your program. So what does it mean to be an ecology student? What does it mean to be a biology student? How do I see myself using my degree to get a job in this or that particular field? We have Alec Forsyth is our section director. You're always welcome to email him, or again you can email me because I am the deputy section director, so I might be able to help with more general inquiries related to your program of study. So you can email me both for specific questions about chemistry of the environment and more general questions about my program, my modules, that sort of more general program inquiries. Do not discount the ISON, both emailing them and the frequently asked questions. It is, I find it really interesting that there are lots of questions that the students ask me, which are related to processes. How do I do this? What where do I need to email this piece of paper? How do I go about requesting an extension and etc., which I go and find the information in the ISO frequently asked questions. You can always email me those questions and I will find out the answer for you. But if you want to cut the middle man or the middle woman in my case and find the information yourself, the facts are there. And finally, for general well-being, health and well-being inquires student health and well-being, and that's their email address, which they will be able to support you. They have student advisors, they have counselors, they have finance advisors. So do contact them. They are very proactive and they are there to help you. So this is the end of this video, and as with most of the videos I'm going to be posting, I will expect you to do something after you've watched the video. So in this case, could I ask you, in the moment you have finished watching this video, could you either send me an email introducing yourself, just making a comment, asking me a question? Even if you don't have any questions, just drop me an email to say, yes, I see the video and I don't have any concern, but hi, this is me. And if you feel happy about it, please post in the discussion board that I have set up with welcome and introductions. And I would really, really welcome contributions to the discussion board. So that is it from me, and thank you very much for listening to this video and continue engaging with the module.